Hey there, this is Art and Such with my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Mr. Potato Head. Before we start, I'll get you to check out my additional features video, and there I'll show you how to make all of the pieces that you might want to have. In this video, we're going to make the body, and I'll show you the ways of attaching the pieces. So on your loom in the offset position, using double brown bands, we'll get you to come down once from the top center to the top right, and once from the top center to the top left. On either of your side rows, you'll have 9 sets of brown double bands coming down. And in the center, you're going to add one more so that it reaches the peg just below. And that's the 3rd peg from the bottom of your loom. So pause your video and fill this in, and then we can put some capping bands. For our caps, what I decided to do after many efforts, I decided to make the whole body thicker, but to tighten up the top part so that it does come in a little bit more. So for that effect, we're taking a single brown, doubling it over onto itself for that added tension, and we're going to make a triangle cap band from our our right second peg to our left second peg and pull it over the center second peg. We'll do 2 more tight doubled over caps underneath, otherwise we just get a really round blob. And if we make more of it tight, then, and don't add the extensions, we get kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like just a 2 oval head. So the first 3 triangle caps are tighter than the others, and we're going to come down right until the last peg with single bands, just stretched across like so. There we go. We're going to put our shoe on to cap the bottom. If you would rather your shoe be a detachable part, you can put your S-clip on and you can attach it afterwards. If you're not putting the shoe on now, you need a brown cap band on that bottom peg, but I'm going to use my shoes as the cap. If you're putting your arms on later, you can put them on later. Again, I'll show you the way to add features after if you are interested. I am going to put my arms on right now. Keep them a little bit less floopy, but they will be stuck on. This is on my, we'll put this on the 5th peg from the top. And that should leave it at about the spot where our nose and mustache will be. I'm going to add the other one, taking all the loops which are on my hook. Oops, I just want this to face the same direction, so I'm turning it around a little bit. I'm not going to add my eyes, nose, or mustache right now, because if I do, then when I loop up, they are going to get covered with brown bands in between, and it will split the eyes as well. We do need our extensions before we continue, and these can go in under the arms or after. We made extensions, they were chains with double bands, and we had 9 of them. So we're going to start right at the top band on the left, and for each set of chains we're going to grab 1 or 2 bands, preferably out of the bottom, and pull them onto each of the pegs underneath. It's going to be a little bit stretchy, a little bit tricky, but not so bad and not so tight. If you are going a little faster than myself, you can jump ahead to the next part. This will be going on both sides, so this is going to take a second. We're doing the exact same thing on the other side as well. Just keep stretching it down, hold on to that bottom piece, and it should be just enough loops to make it. And mine is short, so I did something wrong, but as long as we have most of those pegs covered and we have that added thickness, we're good. If you find yours is too short, just double check your count. You should have 6, 7, 8, 9, Yeah, you should have 9 bands, 9 sets, so you can always double check that and add one on if you need to. And if you have too many, all you have to do is pull one set of doubles off the top. Same thing, I'm just grabbing one of each set and putting it right on top of each of the pegs below. We are almost done. I'm using my original cat band to get on that last one. And when we are at this point, what we're going to do is loop up the center row so that we can add some of our central features. So go under your shoe or under your cap if you've done a cap instead. Take your top 2 bands and bring them forward up. And we're going to loom all the way up the center row. You shouldn't have any bands in your way. Now, as I say, any and all of your features can be attached afterwards, and they can also be attached now. I want to kind of show you everything, so I'm going to attach some now and some afterwards. I will put my eyes on from the 3rd peg to the 3rd peg on the center. And we're going to push those down a little bit and try and keep them close together. You can adjust them at this point so that they're the way that you want them. The mustache and the nose can both go on the 5th peg where your arm is if you are attaching it now. I'm just going to do the mustache and I'll add the nose afterwards. But if you do want to add the nose, you can stick it just over this peg and place the ends on either of these 5th pegs. I'm not going to add the tongue right now, and I think we'll add the ears after also. So now we can continue looping up the sides. If you did want the ears, you can put them right next to the eyes or higher up by a little bit. You probably want them at about the eye peg, and you can even, hang on, you can even place them on the eye peg, or place one on the eye peg, one above, or you can take a couple of these bands and attach it to your 2nd peg on one side and your 3rd peg on the other and keep it a little tighter. Alright, we're going to loop up the sides, so go back under that 1st cap or that 1st blue, pull the next 2 to the right, and go under all of your extension pieces and all of your caps, loop straight to the top. Once more, if you're here already, if you're a really fast loomer, please feel free to jump ahead. All we're doing is a basic chain now. Well, not so basic, but we're just going straight up. And just be careful that you're not losing any bands and not missing any bands, and that everything is coming out nice and ship shape. Which is a funny expression for rainbow looming, but it jumped into my brain. Okay, we're gonna meet up our top 2 bands from the top right peg to the top center peg. Come back down, get your last 2 bands, bring them to the left, and we're gonna loop straight up again. You can always turn your loom to the side a little if it gets hard to find or see those bottom bands. Sometimes they like to hide. Alright, just keep going, straight to the top once more. And watch out by the arms, you have a couple extra bands there. And last 2 to the center. Grab a brown band, 2 if you feel more secure with that, and we're going to put our hook through the bands in the top peg. Point your hook opening away from you, add some tension to your band, pull it through, other end on, and this lower one will go over the top one to create a slip knot. You can loosen up a little bit of tension, and we're going to take this off of our loom. Yeah, some of this guy's a little bit tight here. It's going to need a little bit of adjusting. Oh, dear me, I forgot to mention, I did see one idea for the eyes. You can use googly eyes, the flat ones, but those you have to probably glue on. So that is yet another option. Alright, adjust your eyes to where you want them. You can move your pieces around a little bit. You'll secure your top band with a C-clip. Just stick it into the back there somewhere and hide it. Oops. Do that now. Alright, so any additional pieces that you wanted to add now, you can put an S-clip on, like this tongue here, find a spot where you want it to go, and stick it in, and then it can be added on or taken off. And if you want to attach your pieces, I'll show you how to do the mouth, and this would be the same for the mustache and the eyes if you had to put them on later. We're going to take it off of the hook. I'm just going to hold it on my finger for now. You'll find the rough spot where you want it to go. I want mine to go between the eyes and the mustache, so I'll put my hook on the side here. I'm going to grab an end and pull it through to the back. Stick my hook in again at about the same spot on the opposite side, and put this back on, and we'll pull it to the back again. And there we have our nose. So this can be secured. I'm gonna just put a loose band through so it doesn't get too tight. So I've taken another single band and pulled it through both of those. And I can create a slip knot and add this to my C-clip, or weave it in, or just leave it as a tight knot. Sorry, my eyes didn't come out so well there. I think for something like this you do best with some beads, but it's good to have a basis of comparison, and it's good to keep trying new methods and seeing what does work best. For your nose and your tongue and your arms and your feet, if you have not attached them in the process of making this, what we can do is stick our hook through where we want it to go. I'm going to put mine right into the side of the head here, and I will grab, let's work this out here. I'm going to grab half of my pink bands. So grab 2 pink bands, or you can create a slip knot and just bring them all through, but we'll grab 2, we'll grab our other 2, we'll pull 2 through the other, and this can be secured. The other ever so slightly different way is to take all of our bands here, create the slip knot before we put it in through the head. Oops. So I will put 2 bands up over the other 2 bands right on my hook, and then this actually saves us from a C-clip too. We'll put it on the spot in the head that we like, pull that securing band through, and then we can loop it up over the earpiece, and you can wrap it a couple of times as you like. If you're not happy with it being floopy, you want it to sit a little tighter, you can come underneath, grab a pink band through one of your earpieces. So I've come from the back through a brown and then through the ear. I'm going to take a pink and retrace my steps, bring my hook back to where it came from, put the other end on top, create a slip knot, and pull that to the back, and that will make it tighter. Alright, so there is Mr. Potato Head, and I've given you a couple of ways to do this. I hope you've found a method that suits you. Let me just tuck that in there, and I will thank you for watching. Alright, check out some of my other videos, guys.